Welcome to Cybalounge. This is the nonprofit section. I'm going to walk around a little bit and show you a few things, and then I will explain to you what we can do by freeing the camera. You can see right ahead of me a 3D Web Worlds of the browser sign. If you click on that, you will go to a Google Plus community that will where we discuss some of the projects that we do um, in 3D web worlds. We've got two of them. Cybalounge is one, and um, the other is 3D web worlds, spelled somewhat differently. Um, and that one is built by a professional webmaster. This one is also built by a professional webmaster, but it is designed for user building. The other one is designed primarily for a professional building, although it will allow some user building too. And I I stepped on that circular and red palette, and of course I started to move. That is one of the things that we can do in web worlds. We have moving, and of course if I step off of it, I don't move. You see a couple of bulletin boards there. We can use those bulletin boards. In this one that you see in front of me, you can type whatever you can type yourself, things, questions, and Dieter may be able to answer them. Now let's look at why we would have be able to want to be able to free the camera. To free the camera, you click on the little camera graphic down in the bottom line. But first, let's look at why you would want to free it. And here in front of me, I have a building that has been brought in by the webmaster, and we don't know all the details of how to bring buildings in from various places, but people, uh, several people, especially our two webmasters, are pretty skilled at that. Now I will walk in. You'll notice that I walk inside and I can walk directly in. Um, and also, you'll notice I run into a problem because if I circle around, I can't look in all directions. That's because the view that I have is from behind me, and that view is first, perhaps 2 or 3 meters behind me. I'm not quite sure. In effect, but the result is that even though my avatar is in there, I can't see the place until I get my avatar to walk forward. Um, but I will be able to see better if I go into the free camera mode. Another reason is, well, this one right here. These stairs are not set to let you walk up them, so I can't really go up to the upper floor. In fact, I could hardly see it, although I could see the upper floor from outside because I distinctly remember um, from the looking behind, I can see an upper floor that I can't really get to right now. Uh, there is a way for us to make stairs walkable, but these stairs have not been made walkable yet. And well, I don't know whether we will or not. So, if we want to make it possible for people to explore the upstairs, we there are various ways we could do that. We could provide a teleport, um, and we might do that, or we might actually go to the trouble of making the stairs walkable. But that does take a bit of time. Here is what I can do right now with no help from anybody. I can go into the um, free camera mode by clicking that little button. Um, at the on the bottom, the little button that looks like a camera, looks like a movie camera on the bottom line. When I do click that, let's wait for a moment because let's pause for a moment because I'm going to warn you. When you do click that, you're going to probably find something that you didn't want right away. And I will show you how that works and explain to you. Actually, once you understand it, you probably won't care about it. I'm going to click and turn on the free camera mode, and you'll notice that you don't see anything at the moment. But now if I start moving my cursor, what I thought was my cursor, you'll notice you don't see a cursor now. If I start moving my cursor up, um, I will look up. I have to move my cursor up just very gently, um, or I will wind up looking at the sky, and I don't really want to look at the sky because there's nothing there anyway. Uh, but now I can, with the free camera mode, in the first place, the camera mode, and you'll notice if any movement of my mouse moves the view quite a bit, and it's possible we may want to cut that rate of movement down, but it doesn't really hurt. Now, I want to go into the building first, so I'm going to do that. And the way I do that is by pressing down on the left mouse button. And you'll notice that there are various artistic things in the building. In fact, it might be sort of an art gallery. And in that case, I can go in and I can look at each of the art pieces. And if I go too far, I will have to walk back. I walked outside of the building, and now I will, or I go. I'm not. My avatar is just, as you see, my avatar is still standing out there, just waiting for me. Now, if I want to go up to the second floor, I can now, with the left mouse key, I can move upward just as easily as I can move forward. So you see me moving upward, and yes, I go through floors, and now I see a painting that I definitely want to look at, and I came up too close, so I'm going to have to turn around and walk back a little, move back a little bit. Um, and that that painting looks like a dolly. Um, Persistence of Memory, if I recall correctly, the one that's very well known because of the melting watches. There are other pieces of art there that I could look at if I wanted to. Um, and if I were, of course, if I were an expert in art, I could, and if I were careful not to go outside the building, because if I go outside the building, I have to find my way back. But I'm getting used to that. It takes a little experience. If I were expert in art, I could focus on that painting, for example. And if I were instructing people, I could tell other people, give instructions while I'm talking, while I am showing this art piece. Um, and now I look around, and you see that I have an advantage now um, because of the free camera. I can look pretty carefully at practically anything as long as I don't hold down my mouse button too much. I won't go through the floor or through the wall. And I have to know one other thing, and this is very important. I have to know how to get my cursor back. You'll notice I don't have a cursor, and I don't really know how to do anything at the moment other than move around. I need to get my cursor back, and that turns out to be a keyboard activity. And it's actually pretty general, applies pretty generally to web worlds, I suspect. I press the escape key. And sure enough, I get my avatar back and I get my cursor back, and my avatar can now walk in and walk around just as um, it did before. Okay, this gives you a bit of information about how to free your camera and also how to move uh, in Cybalounge, and indeed how to enjoy, well, how to go around in circles if you want to. Actually, I've known how to go around in circles for years uh, without any assistance at all. Well, thank you very much for listening, following, and I will probably come back another time and tell you a bit more. Goodbye for now.